My gang, what's good? It's Robbie. We back for the react. This is gonna be coming from BZ. Celebrity worship is a mental illness. I just did a video that I'm actually currently rendering right now that's kind of in alignment with this. So this is gonna be pretty interesting because I'm one of the elk that celebrity worship is something that we should not be doing. It's okay to support the art that they do, but to worship them, no, hell no. Let's get to it. What do you mean?
Is this serious?
What's happening?
What? How did this happen?
Oh.
I can't marry you. I don't know you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. No, it's okay.
She wants to say yes. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he should have been pounded out immediately. When I saw Keke Palmer get proposed to by an absolute stranger at South by Southwest, it signaled a terrifying reality of this new era that we're stepping into. Celebrity worship and parasocialism have gotten so far to the point where it's no longer just these one-off quirky comments on the internet, maybe some fan engagement, airbrush t-shirt, those things that we've been brushing off for the past couple of years. But it's now getting to the point where celebrities are actually being placed into harm's way. Their boundaries and their privacies are getting invaded and nobody seems to care. But I'm going to tell you that we can no longer brush off these small incidents because these small things lead to these major incidents where people feel comfortable enough in order to walk up on these celebrities that they don't know and give a legitimate proposal to them and look at the crowd and say, no guys, she wants to say yes. Celebrity worship and parasocialism have gotten too damn far. It's no longer.
And then you know what's so crazy about that situation right there? He will then try to get a lawsuit. See, a lot of this stuff, people know what they be doing. You feel me? They just trying to get a bag. That's all. He knows exactly what the hell he's doing. He know good and damn well she can't marry him. But she's like, or rather he's like, if I get up here and make an ass of myself and then she has her security come and pound me, I can then, sue or whatever. That's all this is. Even though we have video evidence that you was clearly acting like you was just being stupid as hell.
We're a catch-all, but more so of a diagnosis for something bigger and badder to come. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It goes a long, long way for this channel. It lets me know that we are on a level playing field and that we have an okay relationship, not a parasocial one for me. Now, back into the video. This proposal wasn't just a spur of the moment thing. It was planned and it was calculated stalker behavior. This guy bought a ring, bought a plane ticket to South by Southwest, took off from his job also. Most people don't think about that during this time in the economy. Bought a hotel room, bought access to the conference, and then had the balls to come up and propose to a woman that he does not know in real life and a woman that does not know him.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
This behavior is beyond parasocial. This man poses an actual threat to the safety and security of Keke Palmer. And I know a lot of people brushed it off because it's Keke Palmer and she doesn't have the internet's favor at the moment. But I think that there's a bigger conversation to be had here. This wasn't a joke. This wasn't a skit. This man was dead serious. And luckily she didn't get hurt, but who knows what could have happened in any other instance. Oftentimes we wait until these big and grandiose events happen for us to make commentary about it or intervene or react to it. But I'm telling you right now, it's the smaller things that happen that lead up to these events that have me questioning why is nobody saying this stuff. Oftentimes on the internet, we see weird reactions and interactions between fans and celebrities. And the only thing that people usually say is, oh, well, this person's weird, they're a glazer, etc., etc. They're Stan FC, blase blah, this, that, and the fourth and third. But the reality of these situations is that these are early warning signs to me, in my opinion, of somebody who has a relationship that is greater than just one of a fan. This is one that is bordering somebody who has some sort of mental illness when it comes to their relationship or lack thereof relationship, a made up relationship with said celebrity. I've never understood the fans that cry at meet and greets because they're so overwhelmed, especially when we're talking about people who aren't real celebrities. No shade and disrespect to Krishan Rock, but there's no reason why a woman should be hyperventilating and about to pass out because they're meeting you. To me, the only reason why something like that would happen is no different than why these people would comment on her child to the extent that they do. It's because in their mind, they've built up some sort of relationship with said person and pedestalized them to a certain extent. And we don't talk about it because we brush it off as normal fan random, but to be honest with you, it's a little bit insane. I think another small example of parasocial activity that we brush off is this Gunna fan who paid seemingly $66 in order to run with him. Now, I know somebody's gonna say, Omar, he's just a weirdo. You should be overlooking this. This isn't a big deal. But to me, this symbolized the lengths that somebody would go to in order to get some sort of small interaction with Gunna. This guy seems fanned out, for lack of a better term, and to pay $66 to run with Gunna just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. What it told me though is that this is somebody who is willing and able to do just about anything in order to get even this level of interaction with a celebrity. He paid $66 and ran miles with Gunna for a small glimpse of attention. And to me, this is just the tip of the iceberg as to how far people...
Yeah, because my thing is, what is that going to do for you? You feel me? You running with him. Okay, cool. You got the run with Gunna. But this doesn't mean you about to be in his contacts and he's going to hit you up and y'all about to go kick it and y'all going to all have brunch as a collective and talk back talk. It's not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to get off of that. For real.
Will go to get close to their favorite celebrities. This is the level before the escalation. And what happens after this is a total disrespect and lack of care for a person's boundaries, to the point where, honestly, the threats of violence can be justified because of how disrespectful some of these people are.
I just did a reaction to this show.
While DaBaby was at a nightclub, a fan decided that he was going to present him with a gift, something that people do to celebrities and famous people all the time. But what he didn't take into consideration is that this gift that he was presenting him crossed so many boundaries, it's actually disgusting. The gift in question was a picture of DaBaby's children, hand-painted by said fan/creator. And I went on this person's page and I realized this is the niche / these are the things that he does on a normal basis. He paints people's family members, whether it be babies, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, deceased and alive. No commission, just in an attempt to draw the eye of some sort of celebrity. Now, this is weird beyond belief. I shouldn't have to explain why. This guy looks up DaBaby's kids, downloads the pictures, again, not commissioned and totally a stranger, stares at it while he's painting for several hours, and then also locates DaBaby to present these things in a public setting because he knows that if...
Now, in the previous video that I reacted to from Yasin, he said that DaBaby posted pictures of his daughters on his Instagram. Now, I understand from both sides. I mean, okay, he's an artist. He doesn't get paid from it, which is kind of crazy. Like, you're not getting paid for any of this work, but hey, everybody got their reasons. But again, I understand DaBaby's standpoint with the way things are in the world and how weird people can be. But all the more reason why you don't need to be posting your kids on the internet. Like, every now and then I'll like post my son, but I don't have pictures on my IG and all of that of my son. That's not, I don't do that. So if you don't want people painting your kids, man, don't have them on the internet.
DaBaby does do some sort of off-the-wall interaction with him, it'll make DaBaby seem more awkward as opposed to this guy. For what it's worth, I think DaBaby handled it very, very well. Jonathan is known to pound out dudes in this type of situation. But why did this guy, who is a painter, feel as though he had free range to do these types of things? I get that this is your style of content and you have to push the envelope just a little bit every once in a while. But at some point you have to say, when you're searching up a picture of DaBaby's children, downloading it and blowing up said image and staring at it while painting it with no permission from either parent in this situation, you should probably say to yourself, you know what? I'm probably going a little bit too far. That's entitlement. That's delusion. And that's what parasocialism and celebrity worship is doing to people. What makes this situation worse is that DaBaby...
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna paint anyone, just paint DaBaby if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Don't paint his kids because, yeah, now you getting into murky waters with that. You know what I mean? Because those type of things you have, because people don't play about their kids. You should have probably been like, yo, you know, I'm a real big fan of your music. You know, I wanted to know if you were interested in having any, you know, commission work done or anything like that. Or just, you know, like I said, paint him. You know what I'm saying? And give him a painting of himself. He probably would have, you know, been a little bit more open to that. You know what I'm saying? But you run up with his kids, like, yeah. I mean, the more and more I start looking at this situation, the more and more it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you can't just be out here painting people's kids, you know what I'm saying, and not getting a permission for that. Like if you want, you can paint me all day. I'm a celebrity. I'm in the public eye. I don't care. But my kids, yeah, it's like it's murky waters, man.
He had to go and comment on this guy's page. He decided to leave this portrait and photos, which I thought was just so strange. He actually left photos of these two babies depicting like, hey, this is the inspiration photo up on his page. And the baby had to justify not accepting the photo and give this man a message about keeping this stuff up on his page.
First and foremost, I'm not the type of father that I'm not into like grown ass men discussing my daughters, painting pictures of my daughters, taking pictures of my kids. I don't play like that. I'm not accepting no painting of my daughters outside of a nightclub.
At this point, you just don't give a damn about boundaries being set or honestly have any morals or principles. If I did something to someone and could feel the vibe and see the internet's interaction with the content I was trying to make was negative and not well received, at no point in time am I keeping these things up or continuing down this path. That's the thing about this fandom and parasocialness that we're going through. It's not even about the creator. There's no respect, there's no privacy, there's no boundaries that are being respected in these situations. It's all about the fan and what they can do and get away with. And I think in any case of celebrity worship, you can see patterns being continued through all of them. Entitlement, lack of boundaries, lack of respect for these celebrities that you ogle over make you do these things that you want to do. I'm not saying you, I feel like I'm talking to somebody, but we know who I'm talking about. The same admiration that has you breaking down at a meet and greet when you meet Krishan Rock of all people is the same level of admiration and delusion that has a man kneeling down in front of Keke Palmer trying to propose to her, one of which that is a stranger. And so we've seen where this spectrum can go, but what makes Keke Palmer's situation so much worse is what she said after the actual proposal in an interview.
I could see in his eyes that we've had romance. We had a lifetime in this man's eyes where he was like, seriously, like, it gave like, they finally came. And then that's when I knew when he started looking back to the people and he was like, she wants to say yes, help her say yes. But in the moment, it went from this is a joke to I've got to be careful with how I break the reality of this guy. This is nothing to play with. And that's why I got started feeling sad because I was thinking to myself, man, this guy is in a really bad way, man.
Keke Palmer did something that most people wouldn't do in this situation. I think is very telling. In this very awkward and honestly threatening position, she started to feel empathy and sympathy for the guy that was on one knee. She saw the love and admiration and true genuine desire from this man to be with Keke Palmer. But the crazy thing is, this is a person that has a detached sense of reality from what is really going on. My thing about all this is,
and my thing is too with this is like, you got a whole damn job you took off of work. See, this is the problem. See, they make it so hard for you to find decent employment, decent jobs. For him to be able to fly out there to South by Southwest and get on one knee while Keke Palmer is on stage, okay? Like, look at the context here. Like, you took off of work for this. You know what I mean? And yet, most people can't find a job to save their damn life. He needs to be fired. That nigga needs to be fired.
what if she had been rude? Like, what if she had laughed? What if she had said something off the wall, kind of snapped on him? How does this man that is this delusional deals with that level of rejection? Now, granted, she will be justified in doing all of this, but we now have to consider these other people's feelings because they are so parasocial and caught up and lost, and it wasn't stopped earlier, that the threat of actual violence and harm is real. We also have to remember that this was done in a public setting. What happens if this person was caught outside, walking by themselves, taking a smoke break, I don't know, at a park or something like that, not where there are cameras, multiple different people, security, etc., etc. This could have definitely ended bad if Keke Palmer didn't say yes and play into this fan's delusion even more. Keke handled the situation perfectly. She handled it with care and empathy and gentleness that honestly potentially saved her life. But ultimately, a stranger should have never gotten this close to her. Therefore, it was a security failure. And this isn't—
Nah, nigga. She saved his life. You seen that big nigga that pulled up? He had about 2.5 seconds before that nigga would have pounced on him. And you getting ready to have a whole brain swelling because you want to go out here and act an ass or whatever. And I know she was being cool, calm, and collected and being peaceful about the situation, but no, we have to understand that we're not dealing with children. We're dealing with grown adults. He was sane enough to get on a plane, pay for a ticket, come to South by Southwest to sit there and do that goofy shit. Like, he was cognizant enough. He knew what he was doing. he wanted a moment. He wanted to go viral. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem. Everybody is addicted to viralism. You know what I'm saying?
The first time that we have seen parasocial fans have the ability to get close with their creator or celebrity crush, idol, whatever the case may be, with security not doing their job. Keke Palmer and DaBaby's situation show me a clear pattern that these parasocial and celebrity worshiping fans use public situations in order to corner these celebrities into weird situations in which they have to act respectfully and play into their delusions. Security is usually reactive and not preventative or proactive in any of these situations, thus leaving these celebrities and content creators to harm's way. It's the same situation where this guy bought tickets, flew to the event, stood in line, and waited for his opportunity to bum rush Emerald. These strangers don't respect any sort of boundaries, and ultimately, these things could have been avoided if people had taken the smaller signs that these fans and stans and people who are parasocial showed on the internet on a day-to-day basis. And the sad part about it is the question has to arise, what happens if we don't start taking these things seriously? What happens if we don't take seriously the people that put the tattoos on their body or change their name or say that they're a part of this clique or this crew that follows this celebrity on a day-to-day basis? What happens if we don't take these people seriously? At the end of the day, celebrity worship needs to stop. And not because it's cringe like the Chris Brown pictures where somebody is kissing on Chris Brown's cheek and they're doing all these weird photos.
Well, 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 we finally made it to the day. The day when I give up all my dreams on Chris Brown.
But because these celebrities' lives and privacies are at risk. I stayed away from talking about the Rihanna and A$AP Rocky situation in this video because that is a truly disturbing situation that should not be handled very lightly. But I do think that that is a perfect situation that encapsulates what happens when we don't take the smaller signs, because she was doing these online diaries talking about how Rihanna was envious of her and jealous of her. When we don't take those.
I'm telling you, no, the video's almost over, but yo, better start paying for security. You know what I mean? I know celebrities, they live in certain places where, you know, your right to carry is different. Like here in Georgia, that's probably another reason why a lot of celebrities move here to Atlanta, because you have, you know, license to carry. You can carry without having a license. So you come here with that bullshit if you want to, gonna light your ass.
Types of videos and those pieces of content and those one-off moments seriously, it can become situations where now these celebrities are being put in harm's way. We need to bring back actual criticism. We need to bring back shame. We need to actually hold people accountable. And we need to call out and cast out anybody who is showing any sorts of early signs of celebrity worship before it gets too late.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that situation. Yeah, we got to start holding people accountable, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, we too old for this dumb shit, you know? And it's been known, or it's publicly known, that a lot of times when you meet your childhood hero, whatever, they're the complete opposite of what you thought they were. Like they always say, it's best to not meet your childhood heroes, because you get to meet them and you realize that, oh, this person is an a-hole. But I mean, they have to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if they weren't, people would just be glazing like it's no tomorrow. So I completely understand that. I totally understand that. Yeah, we got to get back to shaming people like, what the hell? And it's like, now that I think about it, as an artist, I would never do nothing like that. You know, I did a reaction to that DaBaby situation. I'm going to upload that video. Make sure y'all check that one out. But I have to agree, looking at the situation now, that was very awkward to pull up to a nightclub with a portrait you painted of his daughters, you know what I'm saying? And thinking you were gonna get like a big wow moment, like, oh, this is my moment, this is my opportunity. And with him of all people, you already know how DaBaby moves, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hell he was thinking about that. What I said in the reaction video might sound a little different than now, but I had to sit with that thought for a little bit. So, you know, that's the part of that's fun about being a human. You could think one way 1 minute, and then you let things marinate, excuse me, over time. It's like, damn, you know, that was some real goofy shit they did. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna be sure to link this video in case y'all want to check out some more of his videos. Go support Omizi. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching. Be sure to check the like button, take the subway, and y'all sound off in the comment section until security kicks all of your asses up out of there. With that being said, it's your boy Robbie. Until the next video, we out of here.